All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, Tim Bradley turns coat on Shakur Stevenson. Man, loyalty ain't what it used to be, huh? Let's talk about that in this video. Man, the big switch up, it appears, coming from Tim Bradley as it relates to Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis. Man, what tangle webs we weave when we practice to deceive. Now, why do I say that about Tim Bradley? Because Tim Bradley ain't necessarily a straight shooter, okay? I'm not saying he doesn't ever shoot straight. He does shoot straight often, but he's selective with his straight shooting. He'll throw some curveballs out there every once in a while and go out of his way to heavily support one fighter over another if they've got a friendship. And that was the case with Shakur Stevenson and Shakur Stevenson relative to Gervonta Davis for Tim Bradley. But I wonder what's changed. Now, before I get into the details, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you so much for your continued support. It really does mean a lot to the channel. I got to have fun with Tim Bradley on this, man, because Tim Bradley is probably one of the more over-the-top dudes that there is in boxing. But he's also one of the more well-known, obviously one of the more knowledgeable, very available with his time outside of his stuff with ESPN, gives interviews to a lot of different outlets. You know, a very good, consistent participant in the boxing world, right? Hall of Fame level fighter. Honest about his own career, says that he's a very good fighter, wouldn't call himself a great fighter. But all around, I like Tim Bradley. But Tim Bradley will lay it on extra thick. And he was laying it on real thick a few weeks ago when he was talking about Gervonta Davis and how Shakur Stevenson would beat Gervonta Davis, and he would beat Gervonta Davis easily because of his IQ, how smart he is, his defense, you can't touch him, all of those type of things. Well, all of a sudden, that doesn't seem to be such a sure case anymore. Now it seems like Gervonta Davis may actually hurt and stop Shakur Stevenson if Shakur Stevenson doesn't get focused and doesn't listen to his corner, doesn't listen to Terrence Crawford, doesn't listen to Andre Ward and what he's doing with what he's doing in the ring. And also, if he doesn't stop, he's definitely going to get a lot of criticism if he doesn't stop talking smack about Tim Bradley, because that's dang sure what Shakur Stevenson was doing. I do believe that he hit him with several insults, talking about Tim didn't know what he was talking about. Tim said, one of the things that Tim said, I know that irked Shakur, was that he had his coffee ready in the middle of the fight to help keep him awake for the fight. Shakur couldn't have liked that. Shakur couldn't have liked that at all. No. Not with all the pressure that he was getting for a fight that many people consider to be boring against his last opponent, Arturum Harchunian. So he responds to Tim Bradley, calls him a bunch of names, talks bad about him, says he ain't SHIT, all the above. You know, things you can expect from Shakur Stevenson if you criticize him. On the internet, he pushes back. Hey, man, good for you. Well, Tim Bradley now changes his tone. And what's the problem with this? You can't change your tone, man. Tim, you can't change your tone. You got to stay with what you said before. You can't switch it up because nothing has really happened to Shakur Stevenson that would justify the switch up. Nothing. Shakur Stevenson stunk up the gym against Edwin De Los Santos. Everybody knows this. After the Edwin De Los Santos fight, which was a much worse performance than this performance that he had with Hartunian, you are still 100% cool with him whooping the tar out of Gervonta. So what changed? Nothing but Shakur's attitude towards Tim. That's the only legitimate thing that has changed. He put on a better performance against Artunian. He won every round. Yeah, he did complain about his hands being hurt and said, but hey, it is what it is. Maybe his hands were hurt. Doesn't matter if his hands were hurt, weren't hurt. He won that fight. He won that fight going away. And he did not make it look to me as if he has no chance against Gervonta Davis. He just made what Gervonta Davis's assessment of the fight was all the more plausible. And Gervonta's assessment of a fight between he and Shakur is that Shakur is going to run around the ring all day and he's going to try to stop it from being a fight. And we're going to have 18,000 people or 16,000 people in the Vegas booing us. And I ain't necessarily in the mood to get booed because I'm fighting a guy that doesn't want to fight back because he can't punch. Because he's not a big puncher and he doesn't want to get cracked. So that it doesn't mean, though, that if they got into the ring that Shakur couldn't take the available route to victory for him, which is what? Stinking up the gym, right? However, that was, again, you can't now raise that. Tim Bradley can't now raise that because that has been a chance of that taking place after the last fight. But I just got to tell you, man, I kind of enjoy all of this back and forth. You're going to see Shakur Stevenson, if he leaves Top Rank, if he goes to Matchroom, you're going to see the new treatment of Shakur Stevenson from ESPN. ESPN is, I think, the only network that really does. Well, I guess maybe a little bit with the Zone, but not as much. But Matchroom really, or Top Rank really is, and ESPN really a group of an organization that puts their fighters' stock way above everybody else's, no matter what happens. And they almost always seem to be the ones that take away from PBC fighters or fail to rank PBC fighters, even more so than like Ring Magazine that's owned by Golden Boy. But at the end of the day, we'll see what happens. Hopefully this fight will get made. More than likely, it's not going to get made next. Gervonta will fight Lomachenko. Shakur, I still believe, no matter what these people say about recruiting him to go here or go there, I still in my heart of hearts think this guy's going to re-sign with Top Rank. And he's going to re-sign with Top Rank and probably get a fight with Berenacek or somebody like that. I know he wants to fight Zepeda, but he doesn't have to sign to Golden Boy to fight somebody like William Zepeda. I mean, I still don't get why everybody's making such a big deal about William Zepeda. He's a good fighter, but he's not some huge name. He's not some real killer out there that's got a chance to beat Shakur, in my opinion. But hey, man, maybe he's somebody that can make the fight a little bit more exciting because of the number of punches that he throws. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.